Yo, what's up, homies? We are on top of our windmill. Hopefully this thing doesn't, turn on. But today we're coming back to do a little bit more rebuilding in our small village over here. We've done the church. The church came out well. That little house, it became a little house. I guess. Today we're gonna do a little village square type thing right here. So that building is gone. But yeah, so the plan is we are going to flatten this down probably to this level so that it's the same height as this walkway, and then maybe extend it out just a little bit. But we're gonna put a nice big custom tree right in the middle here with a little bit of a circle walkway around it. It's just going to be a nice little village square, and, maybe there'll be a shrine nearby. I'm basing this off of the Gilder Green tree in Whiterun from Skyrim. So there's, just going to be a big tree in the middle and then, some walkway stuff around it. But then I also noticed that walkway down there is the one that goes across that bridge and leads all of the way down to our base camp down there, which then leads up to the fortress. So I figure while we're doing all of this, we may as well, continue or wherever it starts from, but make a walkway that goes down this way and eventually connect it right down to there, because I think that's... Oh, wait, no, it's up there. I forgot about the staircase. The staircase goes right there. So yeah, we'll connect it over there in one way or another, probably going down from the backside, actually. But for this tree, we're going to be using some cherry blossom leaves, because I have never, ever once done a build involving cherry blossom leaves. So, whoa, that was a little bit close. So we are going to go over here to behind our castle, where there is a rather large, oops, that's the wrong button, a rather large cherry blossom grove over here. And yeah, literally directly behind the castle. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna harvest a whole bunch of out leaves. Why did my whole game lag when I crashed? What was that all about? Oh yeah, so let's get some... Wow, look at all of the beehives up here. I can see three right from here. Holy cow, that's kind of cool. All right, so let's get some stuff out, and we got to make some shears because we need to get a whole bunch of these leaves. So let's see. No ingots. Great. I actually also forgot to bring an empty shulker or two. So let's go back. I can't imagine needing more leaves than one shulker. I'm gonna fill up a shulker just so that I have it, but if I use more than a shulker, there's an issue. I've built a tree that is far too big. But yeah, so we got to get a bunch of these, and then we got to grow some azalea trees so that we can use the flowering azalea leaves mixed in a little bit. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, here we are. We got a little bit of a base camp set up outside our windmill, but look at all of these leaves. If I use more than like this, there's a little bit of an issue. All right, we need to get to clearing some land though, I just remembered. So why don't we start by tearing down a house? And the house is gone. That was quick. Okay, I think we're probably gonna have to get rid of this fountain as well, unfortunately. So I guess we'll just do that quick as well. I just don't know how far up this direction I'm going to be clearing out. So I figure we'll just take it down just to be safe. Maybe we'll build a new fountain somewhere, put the bell in there for our lovely villagers, all that great stuff. All right, so I guess we're ready to start tearing down some dirt. And let's start up here because, like I said, don't know how far it's going to go. So we'll just cut this back so that it's a little bit smoother into that hill right there. And I think I just came up with a slightly different idea. I think we're going to go up 2 levels and kind of flatten this out so that there's a little bit of height right behind our church right here. So I think that will be the plan. And of course, I do need to stop doing everything so dang flat. So I think that'll be good. We'll make a little staircase maybe up right here to get to the 2nd level, and then have our little village square thing right up over in this area. So we got to take just this level out and then do a little bit of terraforming to make the remaining levels look a little bit better. And there we go. We got a nice big old flat area up there. So yeah, I think what we're going to do is bring this out a little bit further right here, just so that it's kind of like a nice slope. And then extend it around this way, like we said earlier, just a bit, not too far. Then once we once we get there, we can start our build. All right, so here we are. We've got pretty much everything the shape that I'm thinking of, and I do think we're going to have to cut this back just a little bit more. I don't know if we're going to have quite enough room for this little village square thing with a big old tree in there and all that stuff, so we're just going to do a little bit more cut in here, and then I think we'll be good to begin building a tree and walkways and all of that good stuff. Now I think we should have enough room. Of course, you know, famous last words. If anything, we'll just cut this back a little further, or yeah, something like that. But I think we're good to get, you know, planning this thing out now. So let's get some materials out. We're not going to do the tree yet. I think we're going to start with the walkway around there, but yeah, so we'll get some materials, and I think, yeah, we need to go. I gotta go put some dirt away, but we'll get some stuff while we're here, and then we'll get to building. And you know what? I think we're going to immediately get. Oh, ow, jeez, wow, that hurt. Forgot what I was saying. We're gonna get right into the building, and you know what? Let's just get right into the time lapse. So let's go. Well, we've got our big old cherry blossom tree done, so why don't, you know, I'm going to go into this camera because there's, you know, I don't want another creeper to be standing here. But yeah, let's go check this thing out, and I actually haven't looked at it from this direction yet. Doesn't really look too bad, actually, and the shape is curious, I'll say that much. But yeah, let's get over there and really take a peek at this thing. It does have a nice presence just being up there as we walk through our little village, but I mean, oh, it kind of looks terrible from this angle. I'm just gonna, all right, I just need to say before we get into this, I cannot figure out how to build trees like this properly. I mean, maybe this one came out decent, but there's something about it. Maybe I might do the leaves like too thick. I might need to space them out a little bit more like I do with my spruce trees over there. Maybe that'll help a little bit, but yeah, so this is our cherry blossom tree. Let me get over here and get a good peek at it from a little bit further away, and oh, I do love it though. It does look pretty dang good, I think. So we've got the tree, we've got our pathway ringing around the whole tree, and then this one, of course, is leading down all of the way to the staircase, and that leads right down to the bridge down there, which goes across that gap right there, which leads over to our base camp, which then leads up that pathway all of the way up to the fortress. So that is now connected all of the way to the castle, because this path, of course, goes all the way back through the little village and all the way around to the castle where we just came from. So everything is connected now. This is kind of cool. Then, of course, we also have the little path that shoots off to the left over here, and this one just leads down to like a little chill spot down here. We put a little bench next to the water. You know, not much to look at. I could put some more trees around here, but I really wanted this to be, you know, the staple of this video, and I feel like putting trees there may have ruined the view from like this side if there were some trees over behind the church or something, you know what I mean? But anyways, enough about these pathways, and I think this is my first time using these little pink flowers. I love them. I love them so much. But anyways, the focus of this was, of course, the tree, and here we have it. And one of the last things that I did with this tree was, of course, I added these lanterns hanging from some chains, and I feel like it gave it that one last little bit of, like, I don't know what the word would be, but it made it a little bit more magical, you know? I can't really figure out how to describe it, but it almost makes it like not just a tree. It's like an actual focal point of this small little village over here. And if that makes sense, I hope it does. But yeah, it makes sense in my head. But yeah, we all know how my head works. So anyways, the tree. We did all cherry blossom leaves, which, by the way, remember how I said I wanted to use like 7 stacks? Well, I used about half of the shulker box. So yeah, it's a lot of leaves. I definitely could have thinned it out just a little bit, made it look a little better, I think. I'll have to work on that. But then here and there, we also have the flowering azalea leaves mixed in just for a little bit of added color. Like, not too much, but I think it's just enough so that it's not just all pink leaves up there, you know? Like, there's a little something in there, and I think that added just a little bit. And then, of course, there's the particles falling from the cherry leaves, but I also added I don't know where they are, but there's 2, there it is, one of the spore blossoms, and then there's another one over here somewhere, adding even more particles, which, of course, is aiding in the death of my PC, which is on its last leg, which is very unfortunate because my next video will be the first one on that server that I've been talking about, so a little nervous about that. But anyways, the tree. Yeah, so we did some light poles around here, some lanterns on some posts, and then I felt like I needed to keep the bell in here, so we just made a little thing with a path leading up to the bell so that we can ring it and get those guys that are in there probably all worked up trying to get over here. And then the tree itself, the base of this is kind of just a big blob of cherry logs, and I just decided to add a few vines, which of course it's going a little bit, oh dear, all right, well, I might have to address that. But other than the vines, we added some candles. There's some white, and then there's a couple pink ones mixed in just to kind of match the vibe of the whole thing. This is pretty much it. It's, of course, like I said, it's not the best tree you'll ever see. It's decent, I would say. I mean, I think it came out pretty good for my first time ever trying to build a tree like that. I guess you could consider that one over there kind of the same, but no, I guess not. But yeah, that is my cherry tree. Actually, you know what? I want to go over all of the way over here before we get done with this. I want to check it out from like way over here at the fortress. And there she is. And it really doesn't look too bad because, you know, trees are never properly shaped. So I feel like having the couple branches that are a little funky, it kind of works out, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, you know what? I am pretty happy with this. After all that, I think I'm happy with it. But that is where we're going to leave this episode. It was quite a shorter episode than normal, but that's because I wanted to get one last thing done right up here before we hop on the BEACOLAND SMP server for the next video, which starts on, well, today is Thursday, so in 2 days on Saturday, which will have been yesterday because this video goes out on Sunday, and that's if you watch it on Sunday, so I'm going to stop yapping about that. But yes, so this is the cherry blossom tree, and we'll be starting fresh on the BEACOLAND server next video. I hope you guys are ready for that. I am so excited to start fresh and just do a whole bunch of new builds, and I can't wait. Of course, we'll always be coming back here for something at some point or another, but it is, of course, server time coming up, and I'm excited. So, of course, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time, and yeah, so that's about it. I love you, and we will see you later. Bye!